The U.S. Coast Guard recently said it found new evidence amidst the wreckage of the Titan submersible. Will the families of those who died on board finally have some closure? Here's what the Coast Guard's shocking findings uncovered. In the summer of 2023, the world watched in horror as news broke of the missing Titan submersible. The private craft had been chartered to explore the wreckage of the Titanic before it lost contact with its mothership, Polar Prince. What followed was a heart-stopping race against time, with rescue crews scrambling to locate the lost vessel before the 5 people on board ran out of oxygen. For 4 days, the fate of the missing submersible was one of the planet's biggest news stories, with news outlets wondering whether the Titan's passengers might survive. Sadly, after the deadline for contact with the vessel passed, its fate was revealed, and it was what many experts had feared all along. Rather than suffering a loss of power, the submersible had succumbed to the enormous pressure of the ocean and imploded. Investigators concluded that the catastrophic collapse took place about an hour and 45 minutes into the journey, killing everyone on board in an instant. In the aftermath of the disaster, the U.S. Coast Guard launched a recovery mission to reclaim the wreckage of the submersible and the remains of those on board. Months later, the recovery was still ongoing. The first partial recovery of the Titan took place on June 22, 2023, when wreckage from the imploded vessel was discovered on the ocean floor. The recovery mission comprised a joint effort involving the U.S. Coast Guard, the National Transportation Safety Board, and the Transportation Safety Board of Canada. By June 28th, partial wreckage from the Titan had been recovered, along with presumed human remains, according to an official press release posted on the Coast Guard's website. U.S. Coast Guard Captain Jason Neubauer said in a statement, "The evidence will provide investigators from several international jurisdictions with critical insights into the cause of this tragedy. There is still a substantial amount of work to be done to understand the factors that led to the catastrophic loss of the Titan and help ensure a similar tragedy does not occur again." A follow-up mission to the Titan was completed on October 4, 2023, with the Coast Guard announcing in an October 10th press release that the remaining debris and evidence from the submersible had been brought to the surface intact. The release also confirmed the discovery of presumed human remains among the wreckage, which were being analyzed by U.S. medical professionals. According to the release, the MBI is coordinating with NTSB and other international investigative agencies to schedule a joint evidence review of recovered Titan debris. This review session will help determine the next steps for necessary forensic testing. The 2 sets of presumably human remains recovered from the debris have yet to be formally identified. And since the Coast Guard has yet to provide an update regarding the findings of the analyzed remains, it's probably safe to assume that their investigation is still ongoing. It has also not been reported whether the families of those on board will receive the remains of their loved ones once the analysis is completed. The 5 people who lost their lives on board the Titan submersible included the pilot, Stockton Rush. Rush was also the founder of OceanGate, the company that created the vessel. Since his death, experts in the field of submersibles have accused him of failing to uphold marine safety standards.
We all told him, someone is going to be killed in this thing.
The other passengers included the British billionaire Hamish Harding and the veteran French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet. Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son Suleiman were also passengers on the Titan. In a statement released after the tragedy, OceanGate wrote, "These men were true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. We grieve the loss of life and joy they brought to everyone they knew."